The transport ship Silver Path floated above the star dock, ready to leave for the Central Academy. Hundreds of new recruits rushed inside. Humans, aliens, diplomats, guards, and soldiers. Everyone searched for a seat. Everyone wanted to look calm. Everyone pretended they were not scared. But one seat stayed empty. It was a seat beside Princess Erin of the Valira Empire. She sat alone, silent, her silver blue eyes staring straight ahead. Her long royal cloak touched the floor. No one went near her. No one even walked close to her row. Even the bravest soldiers changed direction when they saw her. Rumors followed her everywhere. She can kill with a look. She hates humans. She has no heart. She is dangerous. But Ethan Ward, a simple human engineer, did not know all these stories. He was late, carrying a small repair kit and a backpack. He entered the ship while breathing fast and scanning every row for a seat. Every seat was full, except one, the one beside the alien princess. Everyone watched him. Some whispered, some shook their heads. A few even moved away, as if Ethan walking near her could start a war. But Ethan didn't stop. He didn't care about rumors. He didn't care about fear. He only saw an empty seat. He walked straight toward her row. A soldier whispered, "He's dead." An alien muttered, "Humans are crazy." Someone even covered their face, waiting for disaster. Princess Erin slowly lifted her head. Her eyes locked onto Ethan as he reached the seat. Her expression did not change. She waited, calm but frozen, as if testing him. Ethan simply smiled and said, "Is this seat free?" No one had ever asked her that. Her heart gave a small jump, but her face stayed cold. "Yes," she replied softly. Ethan sat beside her, without hesitation. Silence fell across the ship. The whole cabin watched them like a bomb might explode. Princess Erin kept staring at him. No fear, no shaking, no bowing, no formal speech. He treated her like a normal person, a thing she had never experienced. "Why did you choose this seat?" she asked quietly. Ethan shrugged. It was the only one open. She blinked. She didn't understand how a human could be so calm. Everyone feared her. Everyone avoided her. Yet this human sat close enough to touch her sleeve. Before she could say anything else, the entire ship shook violently. Lights flickered. Alarm screamed. Metal groaned. A voice shouted through the speakers. "Alert! Enemy ships detected." All passengers braced for impact. Panic exploded. People ran. People screamed. Princess Erin froze. But Ethan grabbed her arm and pulled her down gently. "Stay low." "It's okay," he said. He still didn't know she was the most feared royal in the galaxy. He only saw someone who needed help. And for the first time in her life, Princess Erin felt safe. Not because of her guards, not because of her power, but because a human sat beside her without fear. The silver path shook again, harder this time. The lights flashed red. The floor vibrated under everyone's feet. Panic spread like fire. Soldiers tried to guide people, but no one listened. The ship was under real attack. Princess Erin held the seat tightly. Her breathing changed. She knew this kind of attack. She had seen it before. Assassins, hunters, people who wanted her dead. Ethan, still beside her, looked around to understand what was happening. "This feels bad," he said, trying to stay calm. A loud explosion hit the left side of the ship. The hull screamed. A shower of sparks flew across the aisle. Passengers fell. A child cried. Someone shouted, "Breach! Breach on deck 2." Erin knew what it meant. They were coming for her. "Move!" Everyone moved to safety zones, a soldier yelled. But Erin stayed frozen, her eyes locked on the door at the far end of the ship. Ethan noticed the fear on her face, the fear she tried so hard to hide. He kneeled beside her. "You okay?" She shook her head slowly. "They are here for me." Before Ethan could ask who they were, the cabin door exploded inward. Smoke filled the air. 3 tall enemies stepped inside, wearing black armor with glowing red visors. They were not pirates. They were not rebels. They were elite hunters. Trained killers. Passengers screamed and crawled away from Erin's row. Everyone knew who the hunters wanted. Everyone cleared the path to her, Everyone except Ethan. The lead hunter raised a weapon and pointed it directly at the princess. Erin closed her eyes. But Ethan moved in front of her. He didn't think. He didn't plan. His body just reacted. He stood between her and the deadly weapon like a human shield. A gasp went through the cabin. No human ever did that for an alien royal, especially not for this one. The hunter spoke with a cold voice. "Step aside, human." Ethan's voice stayed steady. "No." The hunter tilted his head, confused. Humans were supposed to be weak, scared, small. But this one didn't even shake. Princess Erin opened her eyes slowly and stared at Ethan's back. A strange warmth spread through her chest. No one, not her guards, not her council, not even her own people, had ever stood in front of her like this. Another explosion rocked the ship. The hunters opened fire. Ethan grabbed Erin's hand and pulled her under the seats. Laser bolts hit the walls above them. The air filled with heat and sparks. "We need to move," Ethan shouted. Erin nodded, her voice shaking. "There's an emergency hatch, back of the ship." Ethan guided her through the smoke-filled cabin, keeping her behind him the entire time. As they crawled under fallen metal and dodged fire, Erin watched him, this simple human, this fearless stranger. He didn't know her power. He didn't know her status. He didn't even know her name. Yet he risked his life for her. And for the first time, Princess Erin wondered, why would a human protect someone the whole galaxy feared? Ethan and Princess Erin moved fast through the smoke-filled hallway. The ship's alarm screamed above them. The lights flickered. Every few seconds, another explosion shook the walls. Ethan stayed in front, protecting her with his own body. They reached a narrow corridor behind the main cabin. It was quieter here, but the fear stayed heavy in the air. Ethan turned to her. "Who are those people? Why are they targeting you?" Erin hesitated. She looked down, her hand shaking. "Because they want me gone." "That doesn't explain why," Ethan said gently. He wasn't angry, just confused. Erin lifted her eyes. They glowed softly, not with danger, but with sadness. "My own empire wants me dead," she whispered. Ethan froze. "Your own people?" She nodded. "I refuse to start a war against humans. They said I was weak. They said I was a traitor to my blood." Her voice cracked. "So they decided to remove me." Ethan stared at her, shocked. She wasn't a monster. She wasn't dangerous. She was hunted. "You don't want war," Ethan said quietly. "No," she answered. "I never wanted bloodshed. But the council believes peace is weakness." Ethan studied her face. She didn't look like the cold, feared royal everyone whispered about. She looked like someone who carried a heavy burden alone. Someone who had never been allowed to choose her own life. "You should have told someone," he said. "Who?" she asked sadly. "Everyone is afraid of me. No one listens. No one sits with me." Her voice softened. "Except you." Ethan felt a strange pull in his chest. He didn't understand her world or her power, but he understood loneliness. And she had lived in that loneliness for years. Before he could reply, another explosion tore through the ship. The walls shook. Dust fell from above. Erin grabbed Ethan's arm. "We must reach the emergency hatch. The hunters will not stop. They can track my energy." "Energy?" he asked. She swallowed hard. This was the part she always hid. "I have abilities, dangerous ones. My power is strong. Too strong. I never use it because it hurts people." Ethan didn't step back. He didn't flinch. He simply said, "You don't have to use it on me." Her breath trembled. "Why aren't you scared?" He smiled. "Because you're not trying to hurt anyone." Erin's chest warmed again. No one had ever trusted her without fear. This human, the simple engineer, showed more courage than trained warriors. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed down the hall. The hunters were close. Their red visors glowed through the smoke. Erin's voice shook. "Ethan, if they catch me, they will kill you too." "Then we don't let them catch you," he replied, gripping her hand. In that moment, something changed between them. She wasn't the feared princess anymore. She wasn't the untouchable royal. She was someone a human chose to protect, someone he refused to abandon. And for the first time in her life, she allowed herself to believe. Perhaps not everyone feared her. Perhaps one human saw her truth. Ethan pulled Princess Erin's hand as they ran down the narrow corridor. The ship shook under their feet. The metal floor vibrated like a beating heart. Behind them, the hunter's footsteps grew louder, fast, heavy, fearless. Erin looked over her shoulder. They are getting closer. Then we move faster, Ethan replied. They reached a locked door with a glowing blue panel. Erin placed her hand on it. The door scanned her royal energy and slid open. Inside was a small chamber with a round escape pod attached to the wall. The pod was tiny, made for emergencies, not comfort. Ethan stepped inside first and checked controls. Is this thing safe? Erin shook her head. It is old. Very old. He sighed. Great. Perfect for today. Another explosion hit the ship, almost knocking them off their feet. Alarms blared louder. Smoke entered the chamber. The hunters were seconds away. Erin pushed Ethan inside. Go! He shook his head. You first. She hesitated. Nobody ever put her safety before their own. Not guards. Not advisors. But this human insisted. She climbed into the pod and Ethan followed. The door closed behind them, sealing them inside. The hunters reached the chamber just as Ethan hit the launch button. Phoom! The pod shot out like a bullet. The force pushed them back into their seats. The ship became a shrinking shadow behind them. Through the small window, Erin saw the hunters staring helplessly as the pod escaped. For the first time since the attack began, she breathed. But relief ended quickly. The pod shook violently as it entered a storm of debris. Metal pieces from the damaged ship spun everywhere. Ethan grabbed the handles. Hold on. Erin closed her eyes as the pod dropped toward a nearby planet, its surface covered in dark forests and glowing rivers. The pod hit the atmosphere, shaking like it might break apart. Ethan shouted over the noise, Does this planet have anything dangerous? Erin answered softly, Everything on this planet is dangerous. Fantastic, Ethan muttered. After a long, violent fall, the pod finally crashed into thick grass, skidding across the ground before stopping. Silence. Ethan opened his eyes first. We're alive, I think. Erin slowly sat up. Her hair fell across her face, and she brushed it away with shaking hands. We must leave the pod. They can track its signal. They stepped outside into a strange world. The air smelled sweet, but sharp. The sky glowed with two moons. Trees were tall and dark purple. Insects hummed with light in their wings. Ethan looked around. Okay, this is not Earth. Erin watched him closely. He wasn't scared, just curious. She admired that. We must find shelter, she said. Ethan nodded. Lead the way. As they walked through the alien forest, Erin felt something she had never felt before. Dependence. She was powerful, royal, gifted with dangerous energy. But here, on an unknown world, she depended on a human beside her. And strangely, she trusted him more than she trusted her own people. Their escape had changed everything. They were no longer princess and stranger. They were survivors. Together, Ethan and Princess Erin moved deeper into the strange forest. Every step felt watched. The plants glowed faintly. The air buzzed with unknown creatures. Strange eyes blinked from the shadows. Ethan whispered, This planet really hates visitors. Erin nodded. Many creatures here hunt by sound. We must stay quiet. But quiet did not last long. A deep mechanical hum echoed through the trees. Erin froze. Her eyes widened. They found us. A black, triangular drone burst through the branches above them. Its red lights scanned the ground like a predator smelling blood. Hunters. Ethan grabbed Erin's hand. Run. They ran between trees, jumped over roots, and pushed past glowing plants. The drone chased them, firing small energy blasts that exploded behind them like thunder. Erin stumbled, and Ethan caught her before she fell. Her heart raced. She had been hunted before, but never like this. Never with someone who refused to leave her behind. They reached an open field surrounded by giant stone pillars. There was nowhere to hide. The drone hovered above them, charging a bigger blast. Aaron looked at Ethan. If it fires, we both die. Ethan stepped in front of her, again placing himself between danger and the princess. The drone locked onto him. Aaron's voice shook. Ethan, move. He shook his head. No, I protect my friends. Friends. It was a simple word, but it hit her harder than any weapon. No one had ever called her that. Not guards, not nobles, not even her own family. The drone fired. Aaron's scream echoed across the field. But something inside her snapped, not in fear, but in fierce protection. She raised her hands, and a bright silver energy erupted around her. The blast at the shield she created and scattered like sparks. Ethan turned around slowly, shocked. You saved me. Aaron's voice trembled. I could never let you die. The drone fired again, but this time Aaron stepped forward. Her eyes glowed brighter, her energy forming sharp, powerful waves. She struck the drone with a burst of silver light. Boom! The drone exploded in the sky, falling in broken pieces. Somewhere far away, a planet-wide network captured the explosion. A satellite recorded the moment. A princess, known across the galaxy as cold and dangerous, was seen protecting a human. A broadcast flashed across screens in distant star systems. The princess saves a human. Is the war a lie? Ethan was breathing hard. Aaron supported him with her hands, her glow fading. You used your power, he said softly. I used it for you, she whispered. Ethan looked at her differently now, not with fear, not with awe, but with respect. She wasn't the monster everyone described. She wasn't the royal everyone feared. She was someone who cared. But their moment didn't last long. A loud roar filled the sky. A much larger ship descended through the clouds, sleek, black, deadly. Aaron's face went pale. That is not a drone. That is a hunter carrier. Ethan stood beside her. What do we do now? He asked. Aaron looked at him with new determination. Now, she said, we stand together. The hunter carrier landed with a heavy boom, shaking the forest and the stone field. Dust rose like a wave. The giant black ship opened, and dozens of armored hunters stepped out in perfect formation. Their red visors glowed. Their weapons pointed forward. They were here for one person, Princess Aaron. Ethan stood beside her, breathing hard, but refusing to step back. He had no armor, no weapon, no training, but he stood like a wall between her and the enemies. Aaron whispered, You don't have to stay. This is my fight. Ethan shook his head. Then it's my fight too. She felt something warm spread in her chest, something she had never felt from anyone in her empire. The lead hunter walked forward. His voice echoed through field. Princess Aaron, surrender. The council has declared you unfit for the throne. Aaron lifted her chin. She was tired of running. I will not surrender. The hunter shifted his weapon toward Ethan. Then the human dies first. Aaron instantly stepped in front of Ethan. No! Her voice boomed with power. Silver light burst from her hands, swirling around them both like a shield. The hunters hesitated. They had never seen her energy this strong. Ethan placed a hand on her shoulder. Aaron, you're stronger than them. She looked at him. For the first time, she believed it. The lead hunter fired. Aaron reacted instantly. She pushed her hands forward, releasing a wave of silver light, so bright it lit the entire field. The blast hit the energy wave and bounced back, knocking several hunters off their feet. Ethan watched in awe. You saved us again. Aaron smiled softly. You taught me how. The hunters tried to attack again, but Aaron stepped forward with confidence she never had before. Her cloak swirled. Her eyes glowed like stars. She wasn't a feared, cold princess anymore. She was someone protecting the person who protected her. She raised her hands and sent a final, powerful pulse of energy across the field. Boom! The ground shook. Weapons flew from hunter hands. The carrier ship flickered and powered down. Dust settled slowly, revealing dozens of hunters lying defeated, unable to stand. Ethan stared at her with wide eyes. Aaron, that was incredible. She turned to him, breathing hard but smiling. I did it because of you. Before he could answer, a new sound filled the sky. A different ship descending. Sleek, white, and royal. The mark of the Valira Empire. Aaron's people had arrived. Royal guards ran out, stunned by the battlefield. They bowed deeply to Aaron. Princess, the commander said, we saw everything. The council was wrong. You protected a human. The galaxy is talking about peace. Aaron stepped forward. I will return to my empire on one condition. The commander frowned. What condition? She turned and pointed to Ethan. He comes with me? The guard stared, shocked. The commander hesitated. The human? Beside the princess. Aaron lifted her chin. He is the only one who sat next to me without fear. The only one who protected me when my own people tried to kill me. If I rule, he stand with me. Everyone fell silent. Ethan blinked. Aaron, are you sure? She reached out her hand. Ethan, I choose you. He took her hand gently. And in that moment, the galaxy changed. The cold princess was no longer alone. The hunted royal was no longer afraid. And the human who took the seat no one dared to take became the one she trusted above all. Together, they walked toward the royal ship. Partners, allies, and something more the galaxy had never seen before.